Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. I know you might be pretty surprised here that you're seeing your host Ram on the Cricket Happening show on a Monday. Yes, I understand. It's just that some transition is taking place right now. So, yes, I'm here and I'm here to talk about cricket. So, what I'm going to do, take this opportunity to preview the test match, which was a sort of a absolutely sort of tons of runs scored and at Rawalpindi on a substandard pitch with England making 687 in the first leg and Pakistan replying with some 580 odd runs. Who would have thought on this substandard pitch this would have ended up in a result? Yes, it ended in a result, as you would all know. England going on to win against Pakistan in the first test, and what a victory for them. After 17 years visiting Pakistan, they went on to beat Pakistan in the first test match by 74 runs. Nobody would have expected, especially on this pitch. But look at the way the gung-ho batting by the Englishmen. And also, besides that, also look at Ben Stokes, the England captain declaration. When he declared the innings closed and he set a target of 340, which was a gettable target. So it was a sort of a realistic target. So that is the sort of boldness. I mean, as I said, on this particular pitch, any team would have probably, not taken the risk because they knew that that is something gettable because this pitch is not doing anything. There's nothing in the pitch for the bowlers. So why would you even risk going? But this is what Brendan McCullum and the firm of Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes have been doing. They have been challenging the opposition to go for it. And they saw to it that they went on and won the match. And that was the bottom line, winning by 74 runs on a substandard pitch where nobody would have probably given a chance because, as I said, it's just a matter of Pakistan surviving. But look at that sort of mindset that England had. First they declared and then they went on to completely nail the Pakistanis as the Pakistanis lost by 74 runs in the first test match. The second test match shifts to Multan. And that is one thing which I'm going to talk about. I will have a sort of a real look at that particular match. And tomorrow, as you know, India definitely still smarting from the defeat against Bangladesh on Sunday in the first one-day international after Mehdi Hassan Miraz staged a real, not only a rescue act, but a sort of a winning act there. And now the focus shifts on to the second one-day international, which is coming up between Bangladesh and India. That is tomorrow. So that is going to be, I'm going to do a very brief preview on that. And then we know that, as you know, the T20 Premier Leagues are proliferating all across the world. We know this time South Africa is floating their own first South African Premier League. And Graham Smith, the former batsman, captain, and coach, has said, also the CEO of South African cricket has said that this T20 Premier League, which will be ended in South Africa, is a sort of a stepping stone for the South Africans to go and lift the coveted, will win a world championship title that has been eluding them for some time. One has to wait and watch. So that is something coming up. United Arab Emirates is coming up with their own Premier League in this new year in 2023. So as I think cricket is absolutely proliferating right now. It's becoming very difficult to even keep a track. We have the T10 League, which was just happened in Abu Dhabi, where Nicholas Pooran's team won the match. I think it was the Gladiators, if I'm not wrong. They won the match in the finals, beating the Strikers. So definitely, I think it's becoming sort of as we call it, a run glut. It's becoming a cricket glut now because there's too much of cricket being played, and keeping track is becoming pretty difficult. And also with cricketers, moving giving up their contracts in their respective countries, like Trent Bolt did it, Neesham has done it. So a lot of people, and they're just playing as like a travelers for only T20 cricket. and strengthening the T20 game. So definitely there are a lot of avenues now. I think one good thing that is happening right now, as far as cricket is concerned, according to me, it is throwing open a lot of opportunities for the youngsters, because you can either play a waiting game and get into the Test cricket, or you can really play the slam bang version and get into the T20 version of it. And I think there are a lot of opportunities opening up, because a lot of Premier Leagues are coming up, a lot of positions are coming up. I think a lot of opportunities on various spheres of cricket is really opening up, with a lot of proliferating T20 leagues all over the world. So, and that's a good thing, no doubt about it. Opportunities are being created, but I think it is getting too much as far as cricket is concerned. And my take of the whole situation is that one-day internationals, yes, we have the 2023 World Cup coming up in India, but I have a feeling that I think there should only be two versions of cricket right now. One is the T20 version, which is the version where crowds really flock to the ground to see it, and then you come to the Test match version, because, as I said, Test matches is not something that you can easily dismiss, because that is a classical form of cricket. It is basically the technique. It teaches you. Basically, that is the cricket which really teaches people as to how to play the strokes. What is the way you face the ball? What is the way you bat? I mean, a lot of other things which is sort of a classical version of cricket, which is the technical part of it. And that is something has to remain. I think one-day internationals after the 2023 ODI World Cup, which is going to happen in India, I think it's time to say goodbye, because we are having T10 coming up now, and we have the 100 going up in England. So I have a strong feeling that it's better to ICC have to probably in the next ICC meeting after the 2023 ODI World Cup is over, they have to sit across the table, all the cricketing experts, and probably come up with something which says that there will be only two versions of cricket. One would be the classical version of cricket. The other one would be the slam bang version of cricket, which is the T20 form of cricket. Because T10 is something also picking up. Now, if the T10, we know United Arab Emirates have been staging this T10 version for quite a long time. So this T10 version is also gaining a lot of impetus. It's gaining focus as well. Now, if this is something which is going to catch up, then again, as I said, ODI is going to really become redundant. So it's better, I think, ODI. I have a strong feeling. It's my pure opinion on this cricket show that one-day internationals should be a thing of the past after the 2023 ODI World Cup in India. But again, that is for the country, because I think Test matches. I understand it is 5 days that you're going to sit and watch the cricket. Yes, Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum from England is really bringing a lot of aggression into the test arena to just make the match very exciting, which they did against Pakistan as well, and also bring the crowds in. That also brings the crowds in because the results come in. But as I said, Test cricket should never be dismissed, because it's a classical version. That is how you are groomed to play cricket, and that's what Test cricket is all about. So that is not something that one can touch. But one-day internationals, according to me, can be removed from the calendar. It also gives a lot of rest for all the cricket players, because there's too much of cricket being played. So they also get some rest as well, because there's only two versions of cricket that will be played. One is the technical form. So you can have those persons who are very technically perfect who start playing Test cricket, and then you have the other version who really can adapt to the T20 version, go slam bang right from the first ball, and those are the players who could. So I think it's a sort of a this is my opinion, as I said, but I think this is something that ICC should really consider and say goodbye to ODI cricket after the 2023, because nobody has the patience to go for 50 overs all the way down, 100 overs. Just imagine this. Yes, Test match, you'll be talking about 5 days. But also, as I said, that's a classical version, right? So you can see the technique, how the batsmen cope up with the bowlers, how the bowlers bowl, because the bowlers get all sorts of assistance with there's no field restrictions. So that's something. So I think that only two things should stay in cricket, in international cricket. One is the Test match, the other one should be the T20 version. Well, this was just a small talk that I wanted to slip it in here. I hope you all loved it. So let's get out from here. And let's get on to this England match. Just talking about this match and especially talking about the final day. What a gauntlet Ben Stokes threw to the Pakistani players at Rawalpindi. And in the end, the bottom line was that England were victorious. So look at this particular innings. They were 80 for 2, I reckon. They had Saud Shakil at the crease and Imamul Haq. Imamul Haq was dismissed pretty early. Now, Anderson bowled a superb spell, getting some reverse swing. But Ollie Robinson was really, this was a pitch. There was nothing, even though it was the final day, there was nothing that was happening. And something had to be conjured. And that is conjured by Ollie Robinson. What a spell from Ollie Robinson, taking away the player of the match, and rightly so, because look at his. Also look at the bowling analysis of James Anderson, the experienced bloke. 24 overs, 12 maidens, 36 runs and 4 wickets. Look at the bowling analysis of Ollie Robinson. 22 overs, 6 maidens, 50 runs and 4 wickets. It was some tremendous reverse swing bowling by both the bowlers, which really brought Pakistan's doom. Now, Azhar Ali, as I said, was in the tank, even though he retired hurt the previous day, hit on the index finger, but he came back. But I thought he was a sort of a buffer for them. And things were looking good, even though Babar Azam was gone the other day. Saud Shakil showed his batting abilities with the highest score of 76 with 12 boundaries. Mohammad Rizwan played some few good strokes and was keeping the flag flying for Pakistan, I would say. 176 when Mohammad Rizwan got out. Saud Shakil was out, and the score was 198. And after that, Aga Salman, who did well in the first innings with a 50, came there and contributed 30 as well. But that was it. Once Aga Salman went 259 for 6, it was a matter of survival because they had gone into the tail, and England definitely wrapped it up very quickly. Naseem Shah was bowled by Leach, Anderson getting the better of Rauf and Zahid Mahmood, and that was the end. But definitely, there was real tension because the overs that were left were not plenty, but there were enough overs. But also it was the situation of the bad light as well, because the sun sets quite early in Rawalpindi. But fortunately enough, everything stayed well, and England managed to win the game. So definitely kudos to England first for really providing wholesome entertainment. And as I've already said, one thing about England, this man Harry Brook, you bowl anywhere to him. I was looking at his strokes yesterday, and he is someone who's an absolute marvel, I would say. There is no shot in the book that Harry Brook can't play. So to me, he's looking like India's Surya Kumar Yadav, who is really at his peak right now. But again, this bloke, Surya Kumar, is doing it in the limited version, but Harry Brook is even doing it in the test matches. And what a valuable addition he has been to the mix for England. Absolutely great. So congratulations to England for winning it. And now the focus shifts on to the second test match in Multan. Now, the next thing, I would like to preview the Bangladesh versus ODI. Bangladesh won the first ODI in brilliant fashion. They came back from behind to stun India with Mehdi Hassan Miraz, the hero, along with the number 11 bats, Mustafizur Rahman. Now, let's have a look at the Bangladesh. The Bangladesh are looking good. Najmul Hussain Shanto, Liton Das has said he always has a good record against India. He was looking good in this match as well. Before that flyer of a catch taken by Virat Kohli. Najmul Hussain Shanto is a good player as well. So definitely things are really coming together for Bangladesh. And, it's not every time that a strong lineup like Shakib Al Hasan, Mushfiqur Rahim, and Mahmudullah fails. So India have to once again come and bowl against this particular batsman. And they are not wickets which can be easily bought. So definitely India has a real task over there. And Bangladesh will be hoping to wrap up the series tomorrow in the front of their own fans by winning the second one-day international. Afif Hussain is a good, talented batsman. Marius and Miraz, what a player he's turning out to be. His bowling is definitely his forte, but in the batting he has shown. We know that he's a good all-rounder, but I think he'll become one of the best all-rounders for Bangladesh the way he played against India. Hassan Mahmood, Mustafizur Rahman, Abadat Hussain, with his height, really got the ball to bounce against the Indians. Now, let's have a look at the Indian. What can India do? Well, India Well, definitely, yes, the pitch was difficult to bat on, but there are no excuses for the way a world-class team like India played. This was not the way that India would have played. Look at KL Rahul. I mean, the way he actually held the innings, played his strokes, and Rohit Sharma, as I said in the post-match press conference, readily agreed that Indians have been born and bred on such pitches, and there's absolutely no excuse for saying that the ball was turning a lot and you can't play on this particular pitch. He's absolutely right, according to me. So definitely India has a big task on hand tomorrow, because if they are losing tomorrow's match, it's all over for India, and Bangladesh would be going on to win the series. So looking at things here, yes, the big players have to really come to the party once again. Spin, I'm sure, Spin will definitely play a role, no doubt about it. And dew also becomes a factor in the evening. Now, looking at the way things are, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli, yes, again, it's the same. India also has a good, and every time, and I'm sure they would have learned their lessons. And we are going to see a much better performance from India again. And I think Bangladesh, as Domingo, the Bangladesh coach, has already said that you can't rest on your laurels. You can't rest right now, because they know that India is going to come back very hard on Bangladesh in the second ODI, and it's a real battle. With swords drawn, absolutely no doubt about it. Both the teams play with lots of passion. Washington Sundar, yes, the fielding is something that they need to really look at. But Washington Sundar was pretty guilty on that occasion. Also, they have to be very careful with the overthrows, and especially the ground fielding has to really perk up. Now, what are the changes that India can implement? Shardul Thakur looks to be a doubtful starter. Mohammad Siraj bowled excellently. Kuldeep Sain, not bad for the way we bowled, but definitely India is expecting. And Akshar Patel, there is a real clamor for Akshar Patel. If Akshar Patel, I'm told he had a rib injury, but which had kept him out of the first ODI. But if he is fit, he should definitely play, because he definitely will sort of really add a lot of value to the Indian team because of his batting, bowling, and fielding capabilities. So other than that, I don't foresee any other changes coming up, but definitely a wonderful match in prospect coming up tomorrow. Now, as I said, a lot of Premier Leagues, we know the Lanka Premier League is something which has already started this week. And let me talk about one particular match that happened today, which was an absolutely one-sided match. The match was which was played, the second match of the Lanka Premier League 2022, which was played between Kandy Falcons and Colombo Stars. It was an absolutely one-sided match where Kandy Falcons absolutely hammered the Colombo Stars, and the man who hammered was just not one person. One person, yes, it was the opener, Andre Fletcher, hammering 102 of just 67 deliveries, which included 11 with no sixes. But his opening partner, the Sri Lankan Patham Nasanka, played magnificently for 71 of 41, 8 fours and 2 sixes. And they set up a platform where they put 156 runs for the first wicket. And Carlos Brathwaite, coming in at one drop, chimed in with 20 of 13 unbeaten runs with 2 boundaries. What a knock from Andre Fletcher. And looking at the bowling, it was a decent bowling attack. Angelo Matthews, 2 overs, went for 18. Also, let's talk about one thing here. Angelo Matthews, none for 18. Lucknow, none for 29. Dominic Drakes, 4 overs, went for 33. Kimo Paul, 2 overs for 26. Benny Howell, 3 overs, thrashed for 34. Mudita Lakshan, 2 overs, none for 33. Was taken to the cleaners. They could get Prasanna, 3 overs, 1 for 23. And it was very one-sided because the Colombo Stars totally succumbed under the pressure of a big score, and they were bowled out for just 90 runs, which included a Wanindu Hasaranga de Silva hat-trick. 3 overs, no maiden, 4 for 14 for Wanindu Hasaranga de Silva. And Zahur Khan at 1 for 8. Carlos Brathwaite 1 for 22, 2 for 1 for Fabian Allen. Good to see him there. 1 for 22, Ashton Daniel. But look at the card of the Colombo Stars. They had some big names there. Charita Slanka had just come from a very good score against Afghanistan, but he was out for just 1. Angelo Matthews, the captain himself, was the highest scorer, 26 of 23, 2 boundaries, 5 to Nilesh Dikwala, Bopara 2, Dinesh Chandimal. It was a strong batting lineup, according to me. 9, Benny Howell not, Sekub Giprasanna not, as I said. The the pressure of a big score really had a heavy toll on Colombo Stars. Dominic Drake's the lower order made 18 of 22. Timo Paul was made 22 of 15, 2 sixes, 1 boundary, and 90 all out was the final tally. A big victory for the Candy Falcons. Andre Fletcher, in particular, taking the Man of the Match award, and Falcons winning the match by 109 runs. So, Lanka Premier League in full flow in Sri Lanka. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I hope you enjoyed this broadcast of mine, which was a surprise broadcast which came up today, and look forward to meeting probably during the weekend. Until such time, it's goodbye from here.